morning, everybody, and welcome to the 2A Street.
2A Street, yeah.
I've got my good friend and co-host Abe across the table over there.
What's good with everybody out here?
Hey, man, how was your week? It's been 2 weeks.
Man, it's been a minute, dog, you know what I mean? It's been alright, though, you know what I mean? The weather been alright, you know, the rain and everything.
Yeah,
it's been nice.
It's been that kind of refreshing thing where it's not the full out 10 feet of snow
100.
that we normally get. It's been a little bit of sprinkle.
Exactly.
Give you enough time to get your apples off the tree.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah, no, it's been good. And you've been, finally, you get a chance to lighten up your workload a little bit. So you busted over the summertime.
Yes.
You turned into Will Smith, I believe, 2 weeks.
Man. Yeah, man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And it's good to finally just kind of, you know, feel how it is, like with everybody else going from 8 to 5 kind of thing, or 8 to 4, you know, so it's pretty good like that.
Yeah, no, and then it was good timing, though, for your work to slow down, because then you started the youth program again.
Yes.
And so you're engaged again with them kids, learning new things, teaching them new things.
100,
Man, this is going to be an exciting year. I think things are going to be pretty good there.
Absolutely.
So I've been having conversations with one of our mutual friends here. He's one of them kids that you're mentoring in you know, becoming a rapper or a better singer or something like that. But I said a comment the other day to him, to the dad, and he says, "Well, I don't believe in that," and it caught me off guard because this is the second time I heard it over the past kind of couple weeks or something like that. And I recognized that I never actually processed on what I believe about this particular thing, and I wanted to bring it to you because you usually have a little bit more depth about how these things roll around and all that, and you have different life experiences and so what I said was, "Oh man, we got lucky today," and he says, "I don't believe in luck," and so that in turn is that you also don't believe in superstition and those things as well. And I'd never really reconciled that since converting, that, you know, luck is just a fragment. It's just something that we've created. Yeah. Kind of like hope. Yeah. And where that's a lucky thing. So do you believe that when you don't shave, your Raptors do better in the playoffs? No, you know what I mean? Where are you at with luck and superstition and those kind of things?
I just think that luck, like you said, is something that we've created. And on the flip side, as Christians or believers, we believe that it's not about luck, but it's about the grace of God. You know what I'm saying? So instead of me saying I was lucky, you know, you say that, you know, it was the grace of God. It was
you're
a blessing.
blessed. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's what the difference is between somebody who says they're lucky to somebody who says, you know, I'm blessed. You know where that blessing coming from. You know where that it's coming from. The grace of God is coming from God. It's not coming from your own capabilities or something like this. Or just nature coming in and the stars aligning and stuff. You know what I mean?
And then that was the thing, is that I hadn't really processed it because, you know, that one time when you're doing basketball or something like that, you take that impossible shot and it goes in. Yeah. You know, people are lucky. And he says, no, man. Yeah. That's just a combination of all the hard work and effort that you've been putting in and trying and honing your skills, that it just came together. Yeah. That's not luck. Right. You know what I mean? Right. It was just really interesting. But then, you know, you start taking a look on the world scale and you go, you know, Puerto Rico, Mexico, you know, the states beside them or whatever, were lucky to not get hit by the hurricane and the earthquake. And I don't know if I'm, you know, like it's a hard thing to buy. Yeah. Because you take a look at Mexico and Puerto Rico, and there's some of the highest faith, you know, countries and states that are out there, and you go, where's the blessing in that? You know, when they're even getting hit, kind of thing. And so that it really got me going on that regard. Is that I mean, it's a much deeper conversation about, you know, why do kids get cancer and all that kind of stuff. But when you just fundamentalize it down to just lucky, I've believed in luck for a long time. You know, that we're lucky or fortunate to grow up in the countries that we grow up in. But that's where I think you bring a different perspective of, because the country that you grew up in, maybe that wasn't such a, I mean, it's more fortunate that you are able to now come back and forth and all that kind of stuff, but there are still people stuck in these third world countries, I don't know how lucky they feel, or
Yeah.
fortunate that they feel, or how blessed that they feel.
Yeah. But you see, like the thing is this right here though, that I want to know who this lucky person is. Who is this lucky? Who's this guy called lucky? You know what I'm saying? Because we're attributing a lot of things to luck when, like you said before, you put in work. You know what I'm saying? And why don't you say, yeah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I done did it. You know what I mean? Instead of saying that I'm lucky or attributing it to God, to say, it was by the grace of God that this thing right here happened. Instead of saying luck again. You know what I mean? And a lot of things, a lot of people, they grow through hardships. You know what I'm saying? And when you look at the gospel, there is so many people, examples of people that went through stuff, and through that the grace of God was shown. You know what I mean? They grew through the sufferings, through the things that they went through, and that's the same thing that happens when we see calamities and things that are happening in this world right now. We can say, man, I don't know how it feel to have my house grazed down, everything is taken away from me. You know what I mean? But they have a testimony that I don't got. You know what I'm saying? They went through an extremely painful situation that I ain't gotten to. But at the same time too, I'm out here, I'm going through my situations where they might not be able to relate to, you know what I mean? And they might look at it and say, man, you're going through it, you feel me? But it's how I look at it that then in turn I say, oh man, that's a painful situation, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, even in our country here, we have a lot of kids that are going to bed hungry. You know, they in New York, they just introduced free lunches for people. You know, for kids at school. You know, because people are going to bed hungry. There's so much stuff that's going on, and through those processes, if you trust the process and trust that these things that are happening to you are there to equip you and get you to the next phase, it makes the journey a little bit softer and easier. But then if you're asking yourself, why me? You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for that luck right there for me to get out of this situation. And then you won't be able to learn as much as you're supposed to learn. And when you learn it, it's just like one of those things where it's like, why is it that my country's getting big? Why is it that I'm the one who's broke? Why is it that I'm the one who's going through these things right here? Now, look at it from the greater light that there is a greater lesson to be learned through these things that I'm going through in life.
No, that makes actually quite a lot of sense. And like I was saying, I hadn't had a chance to recognize how much that I tossed around the term of being lucky, and because I had heard it twice in the 2-week period, I was trying to process that, because it is one of the things that I have believed in so long was, I'm just full of luck. I'm just a naturally lucky guy. But you're right about kind of pulling credit to yourself, not in a selfish way.
Yes, exactly.
No, man, I worked to
100.
get here.
Yes.
I have the skill set to excel at that one little thing that somebody else couldn't because I worked to get there. I didn't get lucky on it. And I'm still going over this because it's very fresh from only Thursday or something we actually engaged on it. And then you start to relate to the whole thing of I'm here today, here and now because of all the things that I did, all the things that I worked through, all the things that God was there with me on. And that's like, and I don't know.
How many times do you find people that grew up in the same mother, same father, and one they went through a traumatic situation. Maybe daddy abused them or mommy left or whatever, and you see one excel and become somebody in life, and another person being pulled back, you know what I'm saying, and feel like, oh man, I'm looking for my luck, ain't nothing turning out good for me. You gotta give yourself credit to say, I worked hard for this. You know what I'm saying? And when you get yourself in that zone where you're like, I earned this. I done what I was supposed to do. I failed 20 times, but I got up back again. You know what I'm saying? I never gave up. I never quit. I kept on moving. You gotta give yourself credit.
Because you take your unluckiness and turn it into something better.
100.
You take a look at the positive of it and move that forward. The reason why I laughed, even though you took it to something so it's a little bit darker than what I meant to laugh at, but because for brothers and sisters, almost 100%, I didn't take too long to process it, but almost 100% of the brother and sister teams or brother sister teams, almost one of them is always more successful.
Yes.
Than the other one.
Yeah.
There's always just that dynamic in there. That one of them appears well off, And see, you're laughing probably the same way. Wait, I don't know. But that was the thing is that, and I don't know if it's the approach that each sibling takes or whatnot, but one of them always seems to persevere more, and the other one always seems to.
I got something about that. All right. My sister, she's way smarter than me.
See, I didn't want to bring my brother in.
She's way successful than me. You know what I'm saying? I admire and look up to her. You know what I'm saying? Well, but the thing is that when you come up from a place where your parents, they don't divide y'all because this one is smarter, this one has got better things than the next. And then they support the one that's successful and leave the one that's not, then you feel like, oh, you know what? I can do it. It don't matter what I gotta do. You know what I'm saying? My parents just support me no matter what.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't gotta be a doctor. I don't gotta be this person right here. I can be who I am.
Are you the older or the younger one?
I'm the younger.
Yeah, see.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a different topic, a different day.
But this is exactly where a lot of kids get messed up in their head is that the parents gravitate toward the one who's successful.
And usually the older one first.
Yes. Or they gravitate toward the one that's not successful, who's the notorious one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when you give the same love and watch these kids grow, you will never look back and say, man, it's because of that why I'm not successful. You point at yourself and say, I know this is why I'm not successful because I wasn't pushing hard enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't compete against my sister.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because she got her own race. I got my own race. You feel what I'm saying? And so when I do what I do, I do it the best way that I know how to. And my people support me. And she support me. And I support her. You know what I'm saying? That way now, I'm not looking at my life and say, oh, it's because daddy left or it's because, you know what I'm saying? I went through this, I went through that. No.
Yeah.
It's because you didn't apply yourself well.
100. That's interesting because as we're talking here, so my brother and I are only 2 years apart, and he's the older one. And as we're going through school, he was kind of, your 70 average of his grades and whatnot. And I would go in there and I struggled with certain things but excelled at others. So I'm one of those guys that has the two extreme ends where he's just kind of baseline for everything else. And the teachers, parents, and everybody, how come you're not like your brother? Because I'm not Bret brother. It's really simple. I'm not him. So I actually ended up doing worse in certain things because I needed to make a point that you need to separate me from him.
100.
I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
I care and I love for him. But don't expect me to come in here and get 70, 80, 90% and those things. Those do not interest me the same way. So it's really interesting when you start talking about that where, you each have your own things. Don't fight each other because as soon as you start hammering each other down, one of you is going to, there's just that little thing in your heart one day is going to change. You're going to become bitter and negative.
100.
And then you're now going to sit there and go, my older brother is luckier than me because Ben's Lexus.
But then, look at this now. That's luck, right? You're looking at it like and say, he's lucky because he now he's got this and this and that. But when you look at the grace of God now, you know what I'm saying? You're saying that, what? God loves me the same way he loved him.
That's
right. You know what I mean? So then he got to do, if I seek for God the same way, you know what I'm saying? And do my thing, apply myself, he going to bless me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when we're looking at the natural, at the luckiness of things, you're just like, man.
The material value.
So you just look at it and say, man, he lucky. I don't got that luck. You know what I'm saying?
But that's because society trained us for that.
100. You know what I mean? And so we got to move away from that way of thinking, of saying that, that person lucky, that's why they're successful. Now, apply yourself. Do you. Because when you find your lane, and you run in that lane right there, you will be successful. I'm not book smart. My sister is book smart. You know what I'm saying? She helped me with my homework. She did all of these things with me. You know what I mean? But I can't take that away from her because that's who she is. She's smarter that way.
Well, and that was the thing, is that she's not lucky to be smarter.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's the whole thing, is that you've accepted certain facts to be true about your relationship with your sister and certain attributes that she has. If we were all the same, it would be a really boring planet.
100.
We'd be a bunch of ants Or you know what I mean?
Following everything.
Exactly. Just follow. It's just okay. I found something sweet. Hey, everybody! I found something sweet.
This is where I come and exterminate y'all.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Because you're different, and you're not lucky. You're just the exterminator. So I was trying to find a way to wrap this in here, because I find it. I thought of it as just an interesting way to look at things. Does God cheer for the Raptors?
Right.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, and I know that you get where I'm going with this, is that we go through this ritual of not shaving, or, you don't change your underwear for like 2 weeks or something because last time you did that,
something happened.
Scored, they beat the Cavaliers.
That's a prison. That right there is a prison, because you're following certain things and you're thinking like, man, if I do these things right here, my team gonna win. Yeah. Steph Curry keep on winning because he lucky with it. No, he applies himself. He's a Christian, he loves Jesus, but he applies himself. He out there, he working hard. Yeah. But you were unlucky when you took the Kleenex box and there was nothing in there. Yeah. No, it was just unfortunate that the people did not change the box. You get what I'm saying?
Disrespect in the house. That's what that was. I'm glad you came back to that.
You know what I mean? We just got to be alive enough to know that, certain things that just happen. You know what I mean? And they are ordained to happen that way. Yeah. It ain't because you tried something. It ain't because you didn't do something. It's just ordained to be that way. And when you're alive and awakened, you try to do whatever you can to be the best in the field that you is. You're a garbage man, be proud of who you is. Apply yourself. If you're a singer out there, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about the lawyer right there, and don't try to get in their lane. Go still see a lawyer. Go still see an accountant. Don't try to do everything. We're all equipped differently. We're all different as we are plenty. That's the beauty of the human race, is that we're all different. I go to an Indian house. I love the things that's going on in there because the culture is different. I was at a supermarket yesterday. I saw different things in there. I was just like, wow, this is the beauty of the human race, is that we all coming from different things, and we come in and we just accepting each other. Yeah. So then I don't say they're lucky because they got more lights in their supermarket. And when I go to my own supermarket, it's all, the same old superstore kind of thing. Everything is different, and we just gotta accept each other and move away from thinking that they're lucky because they're this way. Nah, dog,
Well, we base a lot of our perception of luck on what people have.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest things that you get yourself stuck in this trap of, is because you sit there and you yearn, and this is where it ties into everything that we've been learning, is that's where you get your greed. Yeah. That's where you get your envy. Yeah. Is because you care from a material level of what people have and don't have, and based on that, they're not lucky. They might appear rich in material, but they empty in here. And as soon as you can turn your heart from looking at glory instead of looking at material, it changes everything for you, man. And that was the thing, is that you start to say all these terms, and you're just used to saying, oh, that's lucky, it's this and that. And as you had started your last comment, when you're talking about success in sports and music and all that, you talk about two, I guess, of the people that we normally talk about these days. There's Tim Tebow and Justin Bieber. Both of them are proclaimed Christians, right? Bieber either came around, but he still ended up in a position where he is now influential within a Christian circle. Yeah. And nobody's saying here, before they were probably saying he's lucky, he was the right guy at the right time and all that. Man, that was set up. That was the way that it's supposed to be. And now you bring him up. He's working with Carl Lentz. Yeah. And that's the thing. And then Tim Tebow is another guy that, out there on the football field, he makes sure, I am giving credit. And you take a look at how many athletes and musicians and stuff these days are attributing their success to the good Lord. Yes. Man, it's incredible to see that out there. And they're not afraid. They're not afraid
because you know that it's nothing to do with you. You know that it's nothing to do with luck. You know that it's nothing to do with whatever. It's just the grace of God. He gave you the ability to do what you do better than anybody. Yeah. And when you realize that, you truly will apply yourself a little bit more different, and you will not blame anybody for your failures.
Yeah.
You will just look at it and say, you know what, I took an L, I'm gonna bounce right back because I know that, this is not the end. It's just the beginning. Everything that you do in life, when you fall and you get back up again, it's a new beginning. So when you look at it that way, you will always be able to move from where you are. You know what I mean? And you won't be right out here pointing and saying, they better, he lucky, you know what I'm saying? He good, he doing better. Nah, you doing better. You look at yourself and just apply yourself and think that about that goodness about yourself, that I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to apply myself. I'm going to study better now. I'm going to look at everything a little bit different from every angle and then take that thing and move with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the moment that I don't do those things, it's the moment that I'm going to get stuck right here and point at everybody else. Oh, man, they like it, they got a Benz. They like it, they got a good job. They like it, they're doing this.
Yeah.
Man, you know what I mean?
And that's the thing is that, you said something that was, if I didn't have my hood on, my brain would have exploded out of my my cranium here. But you said every time you fall is a new beginning. And people need to mull on that for just a second, because I believe as well that the number one thing that stalls us from being successful is living in the past. Right? Is that you take a look at your history and you say, oh, this never worked out for me before.
Yeah.
Last time I was in this situation, this happened over here.
Yeah.
Or history has shown, or the last guy that did that. You're always looking back and going,
Straight.
I don't know. And you create so much self-doubt that you can't possibly succeed because you don't see it as a fresh outlook.
Straight up.
Did that ever click for you at one point in your life where you saw every fall as a new beginning? Like, I'm serious. That is so profound for me that I need to know more about where you got that from.
Yeah, like you have to learn to let go of the past. And don't dwell in the past, because once you dwell in the past, you will always become what it is that you was before.
Yeah.
So when you see that, okay, I took an L, I fell, and I'm gonna start again. That's a new beginning right there. So that means the old is past.
Yeah.
You're looking out forward to
you still have the experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You still got that experience you can draw from, but you don't dwell on those stuff that you've done, because that stuff is going to limit you to the full potential of who you really is. So when you look at yourself and you say, I took an L, I lost everything that I had. Friends walked away. I don't have nothing no more. You know what I'm saying? Now this is the new Abe coming and stepping out. You know what I mean? And they might doubt me, but my work is going to speak for itself. And I might doubt myself. But, the ability that's inside of me is always yelling and say, yo, Abe, there is more to this thing right here. You can do better than this thing right here, you know what I mean? And this is where you grow now from being a child into a man. Because a lot of kids is children, because they are letting things, even children forget.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They fall right there, they stand up again.
And they keep trying to walk.
Exactly.
What if a baby, first time they fall trying to walk, I'm done, and then we're crawling around the planet for the rest of
I do it no more, you know what I'm saying? So we got to learn to let go of the past. It's so hard for us as adults to just forget the past, you know what I'm saying? But to just look at it and say, yo, I fell, it didn't work out for me yesterday. And a lot of people won't let that go. They won't let that past go, because maybe you hurt them, or maybe you walked out on them, or whatever. So they keep on holding and reminding you of your past. But you always gotta remember that the devil is a liar. So he ain't never gonna hold you back because of your past. You just keep on walking and remember that, you know what? What's for me is better than what's against me. You know what I mean? And when you hold on to that, and you believe that, you will always find the freshness and the newness in getting back up again.
As you were talking there, it also occurred to me that the people who are the ones that always seem like they're down on their luck are the ones that when they fall, they relate it to the material items as well. They're the ones that say, well, I lost everything, I lost my house, my car, whatever. But they actually didn't lose anything in their heart. They gained experience. So their zero is actually a +5, a +6, or wherever you were in life. Just because you don't have material stuff doesn't matter anyway. So, but they see it as, because the loss of that emotionally and in their heart and spirit, they're at 0. And you got to recognize that there's a difference between your spiritual well-being and your material well-being. You know, don't relate those.
You know, like you've lost a lot.
Yeah.
In the past. I've lost a lot in the past.
And we both still roll in with good-looking hoodies and good-looking trim, man.
And, you know, if we was people based on luck, then we'll be like, you know what, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing. We wouldn't be inspiring people. We wouldn't be recording this stuff right here. But because we bounced back, you know what I mean? And this is something that's new, you know what I'm saying? In the sense where we've been doing this for a little while, but it's still new, you know what I'm saying? But we wouldn't have done this if we had gotten stuck saying, man, I lost that thing. I lost all of those things right there. You know what I mean? No, that ain't
Here you go, Abe. So, if I related today's show to how my week was, this is how it'd be. Everybody, this is a 2A street. Abe, I'm sick. I'm just gonna go.
Yeah, I'll tell you to go home too, because I don't want to be around you.
You know what? I don't even know I'm here. No, but you know what I mean? And that's the thing is we make these choices here.
You just hit it. Choices, dog.
It is up to us.
It is up to us. It is up to, because you see, there was no Kleenex in that box right there. You could have chosen to go out and pick up another box out there. You know what I'm saying?
Which I will, because then somebody else could be unlucky coming in.
This is good. You know what I'm saying? This is real good. Because, you know, like, instead of you walking out there like, man, I'm so unlucky because I don't got no Kleenex. Nah, there's more over in the storage room right here. You know what I'm saying? So you're walking 10 feet out. You're going to get a new box.
That's right.
You see me? But then you're looking at the old box right here and you're like, there ain't nothing. Nah, man. Go get the newness out there.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And keep on moving.
But for sure, if I leave that there, somebody will come in, go for a Kleenex, and be all like, I'm so unlucky.
Straight up.
So unlucky.
Straight up, man.
I just leave this camera here and just wait for it to happen, man. But then there's somebody else that'll come in with the new box and be like, I'm so lucky there's a new box because I hate it when it's happened. You know? Like,
So we gotta think about the words that we're using. Then we gotta think. You know what I'm saying? There's certain words that I'm so against certain words because I think that they're just not right. You know what I mean? But when you choose to, it's something that I'm writing on actually. I posted it. Speak positivity into your life. You know what I'm saying? Speak positivity into your life. Don't just wait for the negative stuff to happen. A lot of people, you ask somebody, how you doing? I'm okay. Is that the best word that you could find?
That's a filler.
Everything's
going
good. Exactly. Everything's going good in their life. But they just choose certain words. You know what I mean? So then now when you talk to them, how's the food tasting? It's all right.
That's a flag for me. Every time that somebody says okay or you need to ask more. There's a cry for help that they don't even know.
They don't even know.
Exactly. When we talk, when we come in, how's your week? Oh man, it was all right. It was busy, but this, and this.
There we go.
If you roll in one day,
there's a problem.
I turn all the cameras off because I'd be like, hey, what up?
Exactly.
Man,
exactly.
And it's easy. You don't have to be an empath to know and feel. If somebody is giving you just a soft answer like that, and you're okay with that, you're at just as much fault.
Care. Exactly. You don't care.
I don't know if you don't care. I think there's times where we come in where we care, but we don't think we have the time. The emotional time, not necessarily physical time. We don't have the emotional time or capacity at that time. And that's where we fall thin. We invest so much out there that sometimes it's really hard. And that's where we have to dig deep. We have to be, as leaders, that if you got that kid, you might have just gone through one of them problem kids that you were talking about, and then somebody else comes up, man, I got this issue. Like, man, I just spent an hour and a half working with this one kid, and I tapped out. You have to dig deep, and you have to take that child on too, man.
Yesterday, you know what's crazy? Yesterday we were having a conversation, and there was a couple of kids, and one of the kids, so we were talking about David. So then I'm like, you know who David is, right? No. I'm like, you don't know who David is? They're like, no, I don't know who David is. I'm like, okay, think about who David is in the Bible, you know. And then instead of thinking, I'm like, I'm giving him clues and stuff like that. Then it started to click.
Yeah.
Oh, he killed Goliath.
Yeah.
Oh, he did this and this and that.
Start seeing it.
Just a little bit of time, and he's
Yeah.
right. A lot of times, emotionally, we're not there. You're just thinking like, nah.
Get it over with.
Yes.
Man, he slayed Goliath, man. Didn't you read your Bible?
Right.
That could have been your response. Totally could have been your
100.
response. And you would not have helped them children.
100, man. 100.
Every kid learns differently, at a different pace, at a different capacity, at a different level of complexity.
Wow.
And unless you take the time, right? I get in the habit of cutting off other kids that are trying to give hints as well. Be like, you gotta give them a second. Let them process.
Yes.
Right? Let them get there.
Yes.
I'm not trying to make you all the same page. We need to recognize as a crew that this kid needs that extra second.
Man.
He knows it. It's in there. But if you keep
That's
jumping
powerful,
in
man.
and giving him the answers, man,
It ain't gonna work.
how's he gonna get faster?
Exactly.
How's he gonna get better if you're sitting
Exactly.
there just feeding him the answers all the time?
Exactly.
You know it's in there. And man, you know that was
You know it's in there, especially because it's like this kid's. You know the home they're coming from.
You know
it's in
it's there.
Because and one thing that I was just thinking about, like I was just looking at the different kids yesterday. They're young kids, man. I'm just like, you know, I want them to pay attention.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just looking at them and stuff like. But then something hit me. You know, some kids pay attention better when they're coloring something.
Yeah.
Or when they're just playing with something.
Yeah,
And
fidget-
it's just going in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to check myself yesterday, and I'm like, you know what? They're a kid. Every kid is different.
Yeah.
I like it quiet,
Yeah.
but some they like background music.
Yeah.
When they're working on something.
That's right. I can't do that personally.
You know what I'm saying? So I can't study at night. I like to study in the morning.
Yeah.
Because everybody is different like that.
Yeah.
So then when I'm looking at these kids now, yesterday it just hit me like, no.
Yeah.
Don't be too hard on them. You know what I'm saying? Because they're all learning in their own way.
That's right.
You know, their mind
That's right.
probably there's too much information now, so they're just kind of, you know, digesting whatever they heard a minute ago. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you got to understand.
But that's why we have such a failure rate in the public school system that we have, is because their curriculum is based on everybody needs to be at this level at this point in time, right? As soon as you add that time factor in there, instead of giving them the end goal, you've now taken that child and abandoned them. That's why my oldest has been held back, is because that system said you need to be here by a certain amount of time. As soon as we were able to separate each subject, the ones that he excelled in, that were easy, he's able to master those. The other ones, he was given an amount of time, but the overall average still gets him to a certain level. That's when he excelled, because he needed to learn certain things a certain way.
Wow.
But certain systems aren't set up that way.
Right.
So, and you experienced the exact same thing here. So what if now you went into the exact same program last night and you all went, no, y'all need to know who David is. You need to know right now. 4, 3, 2, y'all failed. But you think? Yeah, come on. There's no way we're going to bring up the next generation of leaders that way, man.
No.
We all need to learn. And then you're going to see each one of them become a leader in a different way.
That's right.
One of them is going to be hand smart in whatever they do.
Straight
the other
up.
one is just going to be like you were talking about, one kid. He just absorbs everything, but he's got so much information in there, you need to give him a second to retrieve it. Because there's so much data in there, right? That's why he doesn't have the answer right away, because he's got 100 times more information in that head than the other kids, right? Whereas the other kids only remembered that one particular Bible passage for your thing, so they had it ready. But the rest of them, they empty.
Oh, man.
You know? Because they each learn a different way.
Exactly.
And I'm glad that you recognize that. I mean, I didn't have any doubt that you would. But being able to sit there and see, because that age group, we're talking grades 4 to 6, I think, is that program that you were in last night.
Yeah.
That's that age where you see the real difference in certain kids in the way that they learn and react and all that. By the time that they get to the older levels, that's the Tonight series that you're on, that's where they've kind of established how and they get shy when they know that they don't know something, because they figured out their brains by that point.
Exactly.
So you have the learning side, and then you have the kind of advanced side, and those ones just don't. They'll just stay quiet until it's something they know. They'll jump in, they'll grab it, and they'll be quiet for the... That's the older groups, right? So that's the thing is You got a perfect range now to understand. And then those kids, if you treat them poorly in that grade 4 to 6, then that's when you end up in 20, 30 years down the road. They sit there and they doubt everything, or they're waiting for somebody to hand them something, or they're waiting for somebody just to jump in and give the answer when they don't know it, because that's how they were brought up. Because their parents, helicopter parenting, kids in trouble, bam, gotcha, okay, you know, it's and that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Bubble wrap and helicopter and all that kind of thing that you hear is happening. You may be in denial that as a parent that you're doing it. you take a look around and man, because there are those that are always around and all that. It's great that you're involved, and then there's other ones that are just letting them kids run way free. I mean, I'm okay with free range chicken. It does taste better. I don't like free range children, man. It's not working for me these days. You need to have, you know, kind of a left and a right wall.
That's right. That is right. And you know, it's important. Like, I know we moved, but you know, but it's good.
Yeah, because we have a script to follow.
Kids, they are different when their parents is around, and as opposed to when their parents is not around.
Yeah.
And when you're when you're a helicopter parent, you know, you will see a side of your kids that somebody else, you know, they don't act that way when they're around somebody else. So it's always good, I believe, that, you know, for to have feedback from people that without your borders, people that are not with your kids all the time and stuff. I think it's really, really good, because they will tell you something that probably you ain't never seen.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. They will show you certain things that nobody else has ever told you. Yeah. Because they are coming at it from an angle that it's like, okay, I'm not gaining anything from this. You know, I'm doing it out of love.
That's right.
This is time out of my schedule. This is time out of my thing.
That's right.
But when I am investing something in your child, or if you're seeing me out here spending time with your child, it's because I care enough to want to be out there and investing. So when I say something, you know, and I'm saying it out of love, and you feel it, because you feel it, there's no judgment there. You know, you can now go back and evaluate it yourself. Like, okay, let me take a look at this thing. Let me see what's popping here. Then you can approach it from a different angle. But when you're always there and always, you know, covering your child, bubble wrapping them, you ain't never gonna see the real them.
You know, as we're coming to a close here, there's going to be an interesting statement for some. Both my kids are in each of your programs. I would be honored if one of them came to you to talk about porn. You know what I mean? Because then that means that you've developed a relationship well enough with them that you can have that conversation with them instead of turning to the internet. Instead of, I mean, you know what? That's my own issue if they're not comfortable talking to me about it.
Right.
But if they find it in you and you're able to give them resource, I know it's a healthy one. To me, that is a win. That's a win that they're finding somebody that I trust, and able to breathe life into them somewhere where I've fallen down where they're not comfortable enough for. And that's one of the things that I hope happens. I don't want to be the center point of everything that they're doing. They need to have different inputs into their world. And I mean, what better input than you? You know what I mean? Like that to me, that's just a fascinating endeavor. But I know that there are other parents out there that just cringe at the thought of you know, talking to, you know, some other dude talking to their kid about the ins and outs. Man, that was a bad fun, man. That was a bad fun. You know? But that's the thing.
But you know, you gotta allow people access then. You know what I mean? Like you say, trust. That's a big word. If you trust somebody, you know what I mean, then you value their opinion, or you value what they're saying. Because last week, all this to do this week right here, I forgot to text you. I'm like, I think your older son, I'm not saying the name, but your older son should come on Saturdays. That's what my text was gonna be. I think he should come in. You know, on Saturdays. You know, that's just what I saw from seeing him on Friday and seeing him on Saturday. You know what I'm saying?
So you know that, and that's interesting because you know the story is because he got held back. It's not fair to classify him by grade,
right?
Because by age, he's a Saturday night kid, no problem.
No
so
problem.
why are we cutting the line at the grade?
Yeah.
And then there shouldn't be any issue that when the older kids go, well, he's only grade 6 or whatnot. You go, well, yeah, but by age, and
exactly.
then that should be an accepting place to be.
Yes.
There shouldn't be a problem.
No.
You know, how old are you? Than you are on Saturday
exactly.
night. you have to give him a chance to be part of that older environment because he's already getting pulled into the younger stuff because his brother is so much younger than him that he needs some wholesome older inputs into his life.
Exactly.
So even by maturity, if he wasn't there, you need to stick him up there
100.
anyways, just to give him that environment
100.
to be within.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, it sucks as parents, man. Friday night and Saturday night. You know? Come on, you know. No, but you're totally right, man. All of his buddies from last year moved up into the Saturday.
Exactly.
So give him where he's healthy.
Yo, man, you know how it feel when you see all your cats up there, and you're still behind here, man. And I'm saying, and like I said, this spot right here. Non-judgmental. Nobody knows nothing. Everybody just out here to have a good time.
That's right.
Nobody asks questions.
Why are you attaching a label?
Oh,
right?
Man.
Why are you now saying, you know, and he introduced at the wrong grade. He said, I am Declan, I'm grade 5 or something. And that wasn't even the right grade to be there, even if he jumped it up there.
Right.
You know? But the kid's nervous. He's in an environment where he's not the dominant one because most of the time he's older in all the younger grades. He's the oldest one in his grade by a year. So you need to put him where he's uncomfortable. And that's why he made a mistake on his introduction. You know, you gotta understand that with this kid. I mean, but you've spent a lot of time with both my kids. And that's the thing is that you would know better than I. I know what I want as a parent, but I'm also biased. You get out there and you work. You know, it's going to be awkward and uncomfortable, but that's the whole point. You have to fall, you have to fail because it's a new beginning.
Yes.
You know, and man, if you don't put them in those situations,
it's a bad situation.
It is, man.
100.
That's some great words, Abe. Thank you for this. This one turned out way longer than I thought. You know, man, luck's gone. That's it. Have faith instead. Peace. You know, that's what I thought was going to happen, but that went really
It went well,
good.
Man. This was good.
I appreciate your words.
Appreciate your words too, bruh.
Keep doing what you're doing. I know you don't need me to tell you that, but you're making a difference out there.
Appreciate that.
People are watching, people are listening, and people are giving us feedback. And man, you got that depth and insight. And for that, thank you for all the people that are listening and watching us all online there. Many different ways. We're going to get an organized jumping point for you to see because I recognize that we have so many different places that we are that there's nowhere that somebody can just kind of reach us at one spot. So we're going to try and consolidate that.
Yeah.
But thanks to all of our fans out there. Thank you, Leader Treks, once again. Fetching Finn and the Joy Spot. Don't forget to catch up with Conversations with Abe.
Conversations,
You can find him online as well. Him and I together are the 2A Street.
2A. And Aaron is the man out here in the streets. You feel me?
Yes, Abe. Y'all have a great week.
100.